control you, and that is not easy, but it is necessary. To transform, you must first see clearly. You must see what habits are keeping you small. You must see what fears are keeping you frozen. You must see what lies you keep telling yourself to avoid growth. And when you see it all, not with judgment, but with clarity, you take your first step toward real freedom. Because the moment you are aware, the chains begin to loosen. You realize you are not your past, you are not your pain, you are not the thoughts in your head. You are the one who can observe them, the one who can change them. Many people ask me, how do I become stronger? And I always say, first, become more aware. Because a person who is not aware will repeat the same mistakes again and again, even if they are surrounded by the wisest teachers. A person who is not aware will run in circles even if they are given the clearest map. But a person who is truly aware of their emotions, their thoughts, their energy, their impact on others, this person begins to walk the path of mastery. To be aware is to feel the energy in your own body when you are about to react. To pause before you speak. To listen more than you talk, to recognize that every emotion is a teacher and every challenge is a mirror, and it is in that stillness, in that space of observation, that true transformation begins. Imagine this: a warrior preparing for battle does not wait until the fight has begun to sharpen his sword. He prepares in advance, in the quiet, in the calm. He studies the wind, he listens to the silence. He feels the weight of his own breath. That is what you must do now. You must sharpen your awareness before the day arrives, before the challenge presents itself, before life tests your strength. You may wonder why the 16th of July has any meaning, but it is not the date itself. It is the symbolism. It is a line drawn in the sand, giving you time to wake up before life demands your attention. It is a chance to shift before you are forced to. Most people change when the pain becomes unbearable, but the wise change when the whisper arrives. The whisper is here. The signal is here. And if you are hearing this now, you are already receiving it. But awareness must go deeper than the mind. It must reach your behavior, your daily choices, your routines, your voice, your attitude. What are you tolerating that you should have released long ago? What part of your life is calling for your attention, but you keep ignoring it? What area of your soul is dry because you stopped watering it? These are the questions that awareness brings. And if you can sit with these questions, not run from them, not distract yourself, not numb yourself, then you begin the process of inner evolution. The problem is that we are raised in a world that celebrates doing, achieving, rushing. But awareness is about stopping. It is about slowing down enough to notice what is real. And that goes against everything this world promotes. So you must be strong. You must be willing to feel uncomfortable, because to wake up is to leave behind the comfort of unconsciousness. But I promise you, once you taste awareness, once you experience life fully awake, you will never want to go back. And there is something else. Awareness leads to responsibility. Once you see, you can no longer pretend not to. Once you understand your part in your suffering, you cannot blame others anymore. And that is why many people avoid awareness. They do not want the responsibility that comes with it. They want to be victims. They want to remain asleep so they can stay innocent. But innocence is not the same as ignorance. And staying asleep is not peace. It is avoidance. The warrior, the monk, the awakened one, they do not avoid life. They meet it fully, with open eyes, open hearts, open hands. So now I turn to you and ask, what will you do with this awareness? It is not enough to listen to words. You must reflect, you must take action, you must change your relationship with your own life. This means waking up earlier, sitting in silence, observing your reactions instead of justifying them. It means becoming aware of how your energy affects the room when you walk in. It means noticing how your habits shape your future. The 16th of July is coming. And for some, it will be just another day. But for those who are aware, it will be a doorway, a turning point, a moment of remembrance, a spiritual checkpoint. And if you have the courage to look in the mirror before the world demands it, you will cross that threshold with clarity and power. So, congratulations if you see this before the 16th. It means your spirit is listening. It means you still have time to align, time to awaken, time to prepare. Not just for the challenges of that day, but for the deeper path you are meant to walk. Do not wait for life to shake you awake. Wake yourself. Do not wait for pain to force growth. Choose growth. Do not wait until the storm arrives to build your strength. Begin now. Begin with awareness. And as you continue your journey, remember this. The most powerful transformation does not happen in one moment. It happens in the consistent practice of awareness. Day after day, breath after breath, until one day you realize you are no longer the one who reacts. You are the one who chooses. You are no longer the one who sleeps through life. You are the one who walks with purpose, with vision, with grace. That is the power of awareness. That is the first gate. And you, my friend, have already placed your hand upon it. Now walk through. Preparation is not something you do when chaos has already becoming aware of how your energy responds to fear. It is a commitment to noticing how your most people in life wait until they are in pain to change. They wait until life breaks them before they decide to become strong. They wait until everything is falling apart before they try to build themselves up. But the way of the wise, the way of the disciplined, is not to wait for the storm to arrive. It is to prepare when the storm to arrive. It is to prepare when the storm to arrive. It is to prepare when the storm is still clear. That is the difference between a reactive life and a conscious one. You do not build a house during the thunder. You build it in the silence, long before the storm ever shows its face. There is a calm before every shift, a quiet stillness before the wind begins to howl. Most miss this silence, dismiss it, or even waste it. They live in distraction, filling the stillness with noise, unaware that the silence is the teacher, and the stillness is the training ground. But if you are aware enough to see this message before the 16th of July, you are standing in that very stillness of the calm before the shift, the breath before the leap. And you must understand this moment is sacred. It is in this moment that you are being called, not by me, not by anyone outside of you, but by your own soul. It is saying to you, prepare, focus, cleanse, build. Not for a doomsday, not for fear, but because something inside you is about to change, and change requires readiness, not physical readiness, not the kind that is shown to the world, but spiritual readiness. Mental focus, emotional balance. These are the real preparations that most forget, and yet they are the foundation of everything. You do not wait for life to fall apart before you start meditating. You do not wait for a loved one to leave before you express your love. You do not wait for your health to crumble before you start honoring your body. You do not wait for the fire to break out before you search for water. Preparation is the art of discipline, practiced when there is no pressure. It is what makes you unshakable, not because storms don't come, but because you are rooted when they arrive. Preparation. You are not dependent on the storm. The problem is that people confuse movement with preparation. They think that rushing around, constantly busy, always occupied means they are ready for life. But true preparation is not loud, it is silent. It is not always seen. It is felt. You prepare in the way you think, in the way you breathe, in the way you hold yourself in moments of temptation, in boredom, in anxiety. It is the small, invisible victories that build the fortress of your inner world. And this is what the 16th of July represents. Not a calendar date, but a symbolic doorway. An invitation to step out of the unconscious pattern you've been living in. a chance to face a new version of yourself. But if you arrive at this date with the same mindset, the same habits, the same wounds, untouched, the door may open, but you will not walk through it. You will hesitate. You will fear. You will miss it. But if you begin now, if you take this message seriously, if you treat this moment as a divine warning, as a sacred whisper, then you still have time to prepare your heart, your mind, and your energy. How do you prepare? First, you slow down, because preparation requires presence. You cannot sharpen a sword while running. You must be still. You must create silence in your life, even if only for a few minutes each day. Sit in the stillness, listen to your breath, watch your thoughts. Do not try to fix them, just observe. This is the beginning, because you cannot train a distracted mind. You cannot grow with a restless spirit. Second, you cleanse, not just your surroundings, but your habits, your thoughts, your relationships. What is weighing you down? What are you holding on to that is no longer aligned with your future? Many people carry the past like a backpack filled with stones, wondering why they are tired. But tiredness is not from doing too much. It is from holding too much. To prepare, you must lighten the load. Let go, not out of anger, but out of peace. Not with bitterness, but with clarity. Third, you train, not for the world, not for attention, but for your own integrity. This means creating discipline in your day, not for perfection, but for alignment. Wake up a little earlier, practice stillness, breathe with intention, move your body, feed your mind. Stop waiting for motivation, begin with action. Because training done in silence becomes strength when it matters most. The warrior does not ask, will the battle come? He trains so that whenever it does, he is ready. Fourth, you visualize. You see yourself walking through the 16th of July, not as the same version of yourself that has been surviving life, but as a new being, stronger, calmer, clearer, more focused. And you begin to act like that person today. Because transformation is not about waiting for change to come. It is about becoming the change now, before life demands it. You must embody the future you seek, and you can only do that through daily practice, through quiet preparation, through inner work. There is one more truth you must remember. Preparation is not glamorous. No one applauds the person who rises early to meditate while the world sleeps. No one sees the tears shed in private when you finally face your pain. No one notices the struggle of breaking old habits in the quiet of your own home. But this is where real strength is built. Not in front of the crowd, in solitude, in silence, in struggle. That is where you become unbreakable. People ask, what if nothing happens on the 16th of July? My answer is simple. The point is not dramatic happens. The point is whether you happen, whether you shift, whether you rise to meet the life that's calling you. And if nothing outside changes, but you have changed inside, then you have already won. Because the greatest storms are not outside, they are within. And if you can prepare for that storm, then you can face anything. So prepare with grace, with discipline, with love. Not because you are afraid. Prepare, but because you are with ready to evolve. With discipline, with love, to step forward. Not because you are afraid to cross but be bridge from who you were into who you are becoming. And when the 16th race, whether quietly or with thunder, with love, you will not step forward, not because you are afraid. You will stand tall to cross but be rooted who you were, clear into who you are becoming, because you chose to prepare. And when the 16th race, whether you chose awareness or with thunder, with discipline over comfort, not because you are afraid over delay, you will stand tall to cross quietly, powerfully, is the beginning of your transformation. There is a truth hidden in plain sight, and yet only a few ever notice it. Storms are not life outside. Whispers to us constantly, but most people are too busy, too distracted, too entangled in their own noise to listen. But some, a rare few, pause, something they feel, a subtle message hidden between moments, a come from the outside but deeper. If you are here, it's before the 16th of July, coincidence. It is because ready to hear them. You were meant is the reason. And you must something very clearly now. Not everyone will see this message. Not everyone will resonate. Even if it were placed in most would scroll past it. Most would dismiss it. Because not everyone is prepared to change. Not everyone is open to transformation.
You ever notice it?
Most are still clinging to their patterns. Even if those patterns are distracted, most are still asleep. Even if their lives are falling apart, they are waiting.
Something they feel,
waiting for
message hidden between moments,
something outside of them to save them.
If you are here, it's
a miracle.
The 16th of July, coincidence.
Moment. A sudden blessing.
Ready to hear
but the truth is,
you were meant is the reason.
Salvation begins with awareness.
Very clearly now.
And awareness only comes to those who are. So the fact that you are here now with this message in your hands, before the date arrives, before the storm hits, before the shift occurs, is a sign. A subtle, powerful confirmation from life itself that you are not just drifting. You are being guided. You are being aligned with a purpose you may not fully understand yet, but you feel it. You sense it. That instinct is real. Honor it. This world is built in loudest distractions capture the most attention. People are flooded with drama, with desires, with fear. And yet the most images, the ones that could shift everything, do not scream. They whisper. They knock quietly. They are a storm. That miss them because they are not paying attention to the stillness. They are looking for signs in the chaos, but the truth hides in the calm. To be here now means you heard the whisper. You saw the signal. You followed the thread, and that means your spirit is awake, even if your mind isn't. That means something inside you is seeking truth, seeking alignment, seeking a new way of living. Not because you are broken, but because you are evolving. Not because you are behind, but because you are ready. They're monks. When the student is ready, but sometimes the teacher, sometimes a moment, a message, feeling, a sentence that's into your soul if you forgot existed. This message is that kind of teacher. It is not here to entertain. It is not here to scare you. It is here to remind you of who you are, to prepare you for what is coming, not as a warning, but as a blessing. Because a shift is coming. Maybe not in the sky, maybe not on the news, maybe not where the world is looking, but within you, not because you are afraid to cross the but from who you were, energy to who you are becoming. And only those who are awake will know afraid, are aligned to quietly receive it. Only those who prepare to step forward will not because you are afraid stand it. You will stand tall if you are clear who you were. Clear means you are becoming invited to receive when you whether the choice must be more or the thunder. Awareness is looking to comfort, not because action is what makes the delay. Where you will stand tall, to quietly, powerfully, something is the beginning of your transformation. You must live. There is a true difference hidden in now. Inside you must, and yet only align your life with the person you becoming. Life whispers to us, letting go of the things that most people are too busy, too distracted. Who you are, too intelligent. That noise is being too honest, but somewhat a rare few. Pause. Something that feel a stepping into discomfort between moments. Because on the other side from the outside, but deeper, is growth. If you are here, it's before the 16th of July. Not everyone around you will understand. Some will mark your change. To hear some will question. You were meant is the reason. Your shift in the you must something very clearly now. Remember, not everyone will see this. Everyone will see what. Not everyone will resonate. That even if it were placed in most would scroll past it. Most would dismiss it. You better because not everyone is prepared to change. Not everyone is open to transformation. On a different part, most are still clinging to and your job is them. Your job is to your clarity will speak louder than your explanation. Transformation is lonely at first. It must be, because it requires breaking away from what is familiar, as letting go of the version of yourself that the world has grown used to. The old version of you was built for survival, the one emerging now for truth, for purpose, for meaning, and that requires shedding layers. Layers of doubt, of guilt, of fear, of lies. That is not easy, but it is sacred. What does it mean that I saw this message now? The answer is simple. It means you are ready. Ready for more depth. Ready for clarity. Playing small. Ready to walk with intention instead of drifting. Turn inward instead of always seeking. It means your time of hide, your time of delay is finished. Now is the moment. Not the 16th. Now. Because the preparation begins now. The change begins now. Is what I alone. If your journey, even if you don't are loud, confusing, every per message and owns to the conscious, you always see them rise even if your paths never cross. And life itself is walking with you through every breath, every challenge, every choice. So trust yourself. Trust that you are seeing this now for a reason. Trust that your spirit knows what your mind may not. Trust that even if you don't have all the answers, you are exactly where you are meant to be. And trust that what comes next will meet you at the level of your preparation, your awareness, your courage. Most people never get this far. Most people never slow down long enough to receive a message like this. But you did. And now it's your responsibility to act, to shift, to live differently. Not in grand dramatic ways, but in subtle, daily ones. Wake up with gratitude, breathe with intention, speak with kindness, move with awareness, rest with discipline. These are the real steps. These are the real signs of transformation. And when the 16th of July arrives, you will not wonder if something will happen, because something already has, inside you, quietly, powerfully, permanently. You have shifted, you have awakened, and now you are ready to live from a place of purpose. Not everyone will see this, but you did, and that changes everything. Hence, 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 hence.